Urzila Carlson, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you,
Yeah.
young man.
Appreciate your time again.
Yeah.
Sorry about last interview.
That's all right. I enjoy coming.
No, that's good. Yeah, great to have you under our art sector today. So, hey, Oompher's all about inspiring people to achieve extraordinary things. So, who and what during your life and career has inspired you?
Oprah. Oprah always inspires me. And yeah, just basically not wanting to fail. That's quite inspirational. Thinking not wanting to live in the street because I don't think I'll be good at it. That's quite inspiring. So
yeah, awesome. And I mean, you arrived in New Zealand in 2006, and you're working for an ad agency for a while, and then 2008, obviously into the comedy festival. So tell us about how you got into the whole world of media, I guess. Comedy.
Into media or into comedy?
Let's say comedy. We'll
but
go comedy.
both of them are kind of the same.
Yeah.
Okay, I got into comedy because I worked at an ad agency, and we work in these pods where we have like one graphic designer, one copywriter, and we always had a good time at work, like just laughing our off. We should probably have done more work-wise, but we didn't. And then we just always had a great time. So all my friends would go, "You should go do comedy." I go, "I don't want to do that. It's not for me." But then when I left that agency, they gave me a contract to go to an open mic night at a different, not at a different comedy club, at the comedy club in Queen Street. And I went over to do it, and we all had a few drinks afterwards, maybe 48, and that was good. And then the next day I got a call from the owner of the club to say that I'm through to the next round. I go, "What are you talking about? Like, we just did a work thing." And he goes, "No, it's like the competition at the beginning of the comedy festival called Raw Quest, where they're looking for new talent."
Oh, really?
And I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do it. Give it to someone else." And he goes, "No, just come back and do it." I said, "Look," everyone laughed because I knew the majority of your audience. And he goes, "I was in there, I was laughing, you don't know me." He goes, "Come back, do it again, and see how it goes. Don't tell anyone." So I thought, all right. And I went back, did it again. People still laughed. And by then I was hooked.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a matter of your mate signing up and you're not really having a choice. But
yeah, it's the Kiwi way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want to look like a you better do it.
Yeah, and no looking back now?
Huh?
No looking back?
No.
Yeah.
If a year after that first gig, I had to quit my job because comedy was just taking over.
Yeah. And I've got a few awards here. I mean, since getting into comedy in 2008, I mean, you've won numerous awards for your stand, including like Best Female Comedian at the 2010, 11, 12 and 13, as well as in 14. Wow, so that was recently, was it? Yeah, awesome. Well done. And TV3's People Choice Award in 2014, New Zealand International Comedy Festival. So many awards. I mean, do they keep driving you as a comedian, or are they?
No, because I don't think awards should drive anyone. I think if you're
getting awards, you must be funny though.
I think it's just top of mind, really. People, I'm just everywhere, so people just know of me. But it's like, I think if you say to people who won Best Actress at last year's Grammys or Oscars, they'll have no idea, but they know who their favourite actress is.
Yeah.
So I don't think awards is really my motivator. Not failing, and just I think being approachable and not being it's kind of a bigger motivator for me than awards. Yeah. I mean, it's nice to get them.
Yeah.
I really enjoy getting them.
Yeah.
And I've got a special shelf for them and everything in my office. But so I'm not going to on any awards. If I get them, go, "No thanks, I'll take them." But that's not my main motivator.
Yeah. So it's all about, I guess, having people in the street being able to walk up to you and just spin a yarn and have a joke. And
I think that's the ideal.
Okay, and I guess in the words of the old 7 Days producer, I mean, no one's gone from zero to hero so fast. So looking at your career, I mean, what's been the most fun part for you? I presume hanging out with those 7 Days guys was pretty fun. Yeah,
that's pretty good. I do enjoy our live tours at the end of the year where we all get slammed into a van together and just go on tour.
Yeah.
This last year's one, end of 2014, was amazing. Every gig was just, like when you walk out and you look back at a 10-day tour and you go, not one day was bad. That's an amazing experience. And I don't think there's a lot of jobs where you can look back at a year and go, I don't have one bad day in that entire year. So yeah, it's pretty good.
That's bloody good. And I mean, looking over the industry from when you got into where you are now back in 2008, I mean, what would be some of the key learnings you've had about comedy and in the industry?
Like one of my big things, and one of the big things that always comes up is why is there not more women, or women in comedy? And I think one of the big things, because in the beginning I was sort of a bit, why isn't there more women? What's happening? Is it, will I get popped out basically? But I think now I've just sort of learned to relax into it, and it's not a gender thing. It's a funny thing. If you're funny, you're funny. If you're not, you're not.
Okay.
And it's a tough industry, male or female.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people stick in it. If you look at it's definitely like a pyramid. The rookies coming in, there's heaps. And then it's sort of, the longer you're in it, the thinner it gets at the top, because it's such a tough industry. But I'm happy to say there is a lot more women coming through now,
Cool.
The base of the rookies. It's about 50-50 now with the girls coming through, so that's good.
Okay, and talking about that natural talent, I mean, do you either have it or you don't, or is it something you can develop, or are some people just bloody not funny and no matter what they do, they're never going to be funny?
It's a tough one, because I think it's easier if you're naturally funny, but I think there is people that is successful in the industry that, not just in New Zealand, but internationally.
Yeah.
That you go, well, you can obviously fake it. But I do think some people make better producers than they do comedians, and sometimes it takes a while to figure that out.
It must be awkward listening to someone who thinks they're funny when no one's laughing though.
Yeah, but I think it's harder for them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
For us.
Yeah. So how do you do? Yeah, actually, that's very true. So how do you develop those skills then? I mean, you say some people maybe aren't naturally funny, or if some people even is naturally funny, how do they develop those skills to then become awesome at comedy?
I think it's important. The most important thing in comedy is reading your audience, and assessing the audience and knowing where it's okay to go with them. Because I think if you just have in your head, I'm going to do this set regardless, you're going to set yourself up for failure. Because if you go out and you've got something that'll work really well on a younger audience, and you walk out and they, middle age and up, of course you can't use that. You have to quickly stop and change while you're facing them and go, hi guys. And in your head, so I think that's a skill that you can learn, is to look at your audience, read them, and be willing to swap around and sort of work around the audience, which I think people, if they just go out and sort of just plough through regardless.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not going well.
Yeah. And yourself, what's your favourite story you've ever told on any set?
Oh, that's a tough one. I really like my driving stuff, because it's all true. All that frustration that I get out, it's almost like therapy, because I always say, I don't suffer from road rage, I love it.
Yeah.
It's a joy for me. So when I do road rage material, anything like that, it is quite therapeutic, it gets it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's one of the struggles you've had maybe on stage where you got up and thought it was pretty funny and you maybe didn't have a good reception? Has there been anything like that ever?
Oh, yeah, of course. I think the toughest is, because I've got a bit of a mouth on me, I went out once, and the thing is, the more nervous I am, the more I swear. So I went out and I was really nervous and I swore a bit, and then this one lady just put her hand up and she got up and she goes, excuse me, we don't want to listen to that. I mean, there's nothing you can say after that. Because it wasn't even, she was really polite about it. She just went, no. So it's almost like being told off and then trying to come back from that. And I just went, yeah, fair enough. Somebody just flung themselves off a bullet.
Just died or something.
Said,
we'll read about the Herald later.
I said, yeah, fair enough. What do you do? So I said, I'm really nervous, that's why I'm swearing quite a bit, but I'll stop right now. And she went, all right, fine. And sat down again. And then I just carried on with the gig and it was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, no, that's pretty funny. So I guess just before we head into some quick fire questions to finish off, what are you most proud of when you look back over your time in the industry?
I guess just taking my time with some stuff, and not rushing into things, which I'm prone to do. and picking the, sort of, or not picking, being picked basically by a really good manager, and we sort of work really well together. And I think it's an amazing industry in New Zealand because it's such a small industry, but it's such a strong industry. There's so many amazing comics in New Zealand. And that kind of, when you go overseas and people go, oh, you're from New Zealand, do you know Ben Hurley? Do you know Di? Do you know Jim? People know of our comics because they're such good comics.
Yeah, that's cool.
That kind of makes you go, yeah, I work with those guys, it makes you quite proud.
Cool, yeah. And what's your dream still to come then in the world of comedy?
Well, obviously I'll sort of move away from comedy a bit and become New Zealand's Oprah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And I'll be giving away cars taped under people's seats for Christmas.
Okay.
Just like real Oprah.
Yeah, Urzila Carlson show, is that on the way?
Yeah. But I think we'll just say New Zealand's Oprah.
Yeah.
I'll change my name.
New Zealand's
I'll be changing my name legally.
Oprah Carlson?
Yeah. Oprah Winfrey Carlson.
That sounds good. Okay, I've just got a few quick fire questions to finish off. In summary then, what does it take to be a comedian?
To be funny.
Yeah.
It's be funny and talk a lot.
Okay,
and
thick skin?
work those two in together. Yeah, definitely a thick skin. People are idiots.
That's true, yeah. And the most important lessons you've learned in life, Ursula?
People are idiots and to be funny.
And that there's no bigger waste of time than regret. That's a good one.
Yep, that's a big one. There is no greater waste of time than regret.
Yeah. And for the viewers out there, Ursula did a TEDx Auckland speech.
Yep, TEDx Auckland.
Yeah, it's bloody good if you want to check that out. And I guess, I guess what do you want your legacy to be as a comedian? Have you got... comedy is something that obviously anyone who's good at comedy is funny, as we've just been talking about. But what do you want you to be? What's your differential thing that you work quite hard on?
I think when people leave my show, I don't want people to think, oh, she's not bad for a woman or not bad for a lesbian or not. I just want people to walk out and go, that was funny. Yeah, exactly. Not gender based, nothing to do with anything. Was it funny? Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so just before we finish off, what would the 16-year-old Urzila Carlson think of the lady you are today, the Oprah Winfrey Carlson?
Well, the 16-year-old would go, what have you done to us? We obviously failed at that diet, but she'd be quite chuffed that we live in New Zealand now, I think, and would probably advise me to stop wearing bikinis and stuff. That's probably what I don't wear bikinis. This is a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
But I think 16-year-old me would be impressed with ancient me.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so to finish off, look, you're a pretty funny person. We all enjoy listening to you, whether you're on stage or during an interview, so thanks so much for being here. So can you look down this camera here and tell us, what are your wise words for the people of New Zealand? New
Zealand, we get a lot of bad rap for our drinking culture. We're not as bad as they say we are, because then when I go to Australia, they talk about their drinking culture, and they're way worse than we are.
Urzila Carlson, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.